20 past 11 on 3AW. Now, just before we get back to your calls, we have been promising to do this all night. Earlier this evening, Paul Barber passed away. Paul Barber was the drive host here in the 1990s. He was also Darren Hitch's producer in the 80s and hosted Breakfast starting in 1978 with Peter Hitchener for a year, and then went on to do it for a couple of years solo.
Yes, so, and I think worked with Doug Ayton at the ABC too.
Yes, he did. Yes, had a stint at the ABC himself, and also some TV work as well. So he'd been around, done the whole media thing, and then moved on to work for the Department of Education and stepped away from the limelight. But we have dug in our little collection of audio bits and pieces that we've got. We found a little piece where he drags Bruce Mansfield into the studio during his drive show. So it only runs a few minutes. We just thought it might be worth having a listen to.
19 minutes past 5, and I've got Bruce Mansfield in here under false pretences. He thinks we're going to talk about one thing. I'm actually going to talk to him about another. Someone stole my Collingwood Football Club mug.
All right, I'm here
I said it was Keith McGowan, but I actually think it was you.
Come on. What, how do you assume? Why do you assume that?
Well, you stole everything else.
Oh, how are you?
You stole everything else. You stole all the other
All
mugs.
I've taken from you is a frowsy, dirty old chook.
They're all shouting me at things that you've actually stolen from this place. Fax machine. What else?
Now, I'll tell you who took them if you're...
3AW mugs. There's no 3AW mugs left in the place.
They're not in
I
mine.
bet they're all at your home.
Anything I took was...
I'm going to ring Jill and find out.
No, you're not.
We're getting Jill on the line.
Hang on.
What do you want?
Don't you dare. Thank you. For Man and Beast, I have been a Collingwood supporter for all of my years, my 45 years, 42 years.
Yeah, but you've got this kinky obsession with Collingwood mugs.
And I was given a Dolly Gray's conference or meeting that I compared with Darren James some time back when I was a highly successful breakfast.
Can I bring up a rumour? Quite genuinely.
Well,
You, so I'm reliably informed, have been approached by Vizard and Hinch to renew an old partnership at the station that they hope to set up.
where did you hear that?
True or false?
It's neither.
True or false?
Neither.
It happened, didn't it?
I have not been approached by either Steve Vizard or Darren Hinch.
I know who rang you.
Don't you
I've
dare.
caught you, haven't I?
Don't you dare. Well, it didn't come from my lips, and you...
Phil, watch out, he'll dump you. If the money's right, if the price is right.
The price will never be right. I could never...
$200,000, will you up...
I would...
will you up Bob and Blanche?
I have never been happier in all my life than doing Nightline with Philip Brady on 3AW, and I remain I am determined to stay here as long as I can.
It's like a politician saying, you know, I support the leader.
Yes, well, there are not many of those around. I have been a Collingwood supporter.
Phil's not at home, you're lucky you'd be let off.
She's down at Franklin's getting some no-frills mugs.
Where are we? What are we doing here? Why are you in here?
I have been a Collingwood supporter, Man and Beast, for a long time. And a Dolly Gray's...
Do you want to just clarify this, whether you've been offered by a former partner of yours to renew the acquaintanceship and do the breakfast shift on this new
I'm not
station?
making any comment at all, because I didn't make any comment to him at the time. And I'm
how Phil Brady thinks as he's
I'm certainly not going behind anyone's back and proclaiming to you on radio something that hasn't been discussed or confirmed. Let me just say...
Have we got a tape of that? I think we need to replay it to try and work out what he's saying.
I've been a Collingwood supporter, Man and Beast, for at a Dolly Gray's conference some time ago, which I compared. I was given a mug identical to the one that you use.
Well, this is my very point.
On Monday,
You wanted to match it.
on Monday of this week, I took yours home. Hang on.
Yes.
Thinking it was mine. I got to the mug drawer in the kitchen, pulled it open, and I saw mine. Now, I intend bringing that back, and I don't want the slur against Keith McGowan to continue.
So it wasn't Keith, but I mean, we just naturally thought it was going to be Keith.
Well, that's
right.
That's a despicable...
As indeed everybody does, and then we sort of thought, oh no, if it's not Keith, it'll be you.
Thank you.
And so you say you took it, what you're saying is you took it home in the boot of the Mercedes.
No, I didn't.
By mistake.
I don't drive a Mercedes, I drive a a Vauxhall Velox.
Yes, Phil's number's engaged because we're getting him on the line.
Oh, Dad, what are you ringing everyone
Well,
for?
because I believe you have been made a genuine offer by another station to renew a partnership.
I am
Phil
here.
Brady dumped.
I'm here to go on. Don't talk
Like
such
that?
absolute rot.
See, that's radio.
I'm clearing the air for Keith McGowan. I'm honestly saying to you, in error, I took the mug home. It'll be returned to you next week.
Right, so I'll now have two, because...
No, I'll take that.
No, Neil from Collingwood. Well, hang on a second, let me just work...
I'll have that, mate.
Let me work this one through. Someone's losing mugs here, and I think it's me.
So
now,
that's
what did you
clear
actually come here for? Well, no, you haven't cleared the air. Well, you've cleared the air about the mud, but you're bringing that back. You haven't cleared the air about... You haven't cleared the air about whether you, in fact, are dumping Phil and the station, storming out...
Don't you talk
and
so
going
absolute
to
piffle and rot to
renew
me.
your acquaintance with someone who did all of that?
Look, if
time ago.
David Hill was to ring you at the ABC tonight at home and say, how would you like to come back to the ABC? Hang on, that's not offering you a job.
Doesn't even need to be David Hill. If it was Doug Aiton after.
No, but if it was just somebody from another station.
The cleaner onto it.
Yeah, if they're putting their foot in the water, would you like to? There was no job offer as such. And you hear that...
Well, hang on, as such. What do you mean by as such?
As such as you're saying. You hear it from... Look, this medium is full of it. I could go to Channel 9 tomorrow. Ian McLaughlin could say to me...
Is that right? Yes, I'm just getting to my headphones. Steve Vizard wants you to ring him when you get off here. Oh, Price does. There we go. Steve Price and Steve Vizard both wanting to talk to you.
I'm not talking to anyone
No,
about
Pricey wants to have a word. Squadron leader.
What you are. Thanks a lot.
I tell you what, I'd ring back this guy that rang you on Sunday and say, how firm is the offer? Was it 200,000? I'm yours.
I'll take it for two. So the mug will be returned.
Right, the mug will be returned. Will you return it before you leave the station?
Well, that's a point. I'm just going to see how good the offer is. Right.
Well, you came here to do a traffic report. Can we actually get to it? It's 25 minutes past 5.
Everything's running smoothly at the moment.
And I think Pricey's saying the segment's wearing a bit thin.
I hope not.
Well, didn't you come here to do a traffic report? You came in here and said, I want to talk about the Southeastern Arterial.
That's what I used that as a ploy to get on air. Oh, good night, thank you,
You
Paul.
are desperate. You're on for 4 hours a night.
Look, I'm clearing the
6
air
hours on Sunday night. You come in here and you want another 5 or 6
I'm
minutes.
not. I'm just saying that you're screaming with voice of the suburbs. Where's my security blanket? I'm saying I've got it at home for you.
Well, I'll tell you what. We now know that Phil Brady is not your security blanket. You're thinking of dumping him. You're thinking of dumping this station. Pricey. Well, and my Collingwood mug was... anyway, before you actually go off to... Is it Magic? That's right, that's the new station. Magic Talk. Talk Magic. What would you give it? What title would you give it? Talk Magic.
Oh, Magic Mansfield.
All right, well, look, so all of us and everyone listening, I hope we'll just all tune into Phil and to Bruce tonight for the last 2 or 3 shows.
Oh, don't talk.
Oh, hang on, this could be the last show. It's Thursday night, because you've got Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Are you still doing Remember
So what do I
When? What are you doing Remember When on Sunday night?
Yeah, of course I am. And I'm here next week and next year. Goodness me.
Are you?
Don't read stuff into it that's not there.
All right, we're keeping the tape. God bless.
Philip Murphy. There you are.
That was from February the 2nd, 1995.
Oh, good to hear it again. Memories of Paul Barber, who sadly passed away this afternoon after a long illness.
Wasn't he funny? He got Bruce in very well.
All over a coffee mug. That's how it started. He painted Bruce into a corner, that's for sure.
Wonderful days. Good personalities.
Not often Bruce is lost for words, is it?
No.
It's classic radio. The weekend? Okay, let me tell you, Friday night I did Nightline with Ken and Simon, and just before 8 o'clock, the sad news came through of the passing of Paul Barber. I'm sure you'd like to say something about Paul.
I would like to, and I did hear during the week that he was failing very, very suddenly, very quickly, particularly from a dear friend in Doug Aiton who visited him regularly, and Darren Hinch and Darren James. My great friendship with Paul came about 30 years ago when we were doing breakfast, John Blackman and myself. And Paul would be sitting outside that studio at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, because he was producing the Darren Hinch program at that time, which went to air at 8:30. So Hinch used to get in very early, 6:30, and Paul Barber an hour early. So we would sit there and have a coffee, talk about the most mundane, ordinary things to get the day started.
Sure.
And he was just a really good friend, and for a long time, for about 10 years, we had that tradition and that ritual every morning.
Yes, he was very likeable.
He was greatly loved around here. So to friends and family, and I'm sure there's many, my condolences.
Yes, I think Doug Aiton will have more to say on Tuesday night on Night.